Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today something we've known for a while has been confirmed by Billboard as Eminem scores historic #1 with the latest album Music to be Murdered By. And if you're wondering why Halsey is included in the headline, sit back, relax, as things are about to get interesting in the video regarding what's going on. First things first, when Eminem first dropped his surprise album, those who looked for the slightest excuse to cry about Eminem stated that Eminem blocked Mac Miller from a shot at #1, and it just goes to show how with Eminem, there's always a motive to hate. Little did these people know that Halsey was actually Mac Miller's biggest threat, and like the results have shown, Halsey actually topped Mac Miller. So regardless, if Eminem didn't drop an album, Mac wouldn't have gotten the #1 spot, and it's not because Halsey is the bigger artist, but because of massive album bundles that counted towards Halsey's equivalent sales total. Before we dive in deep, where I'll explain why this is quite interesting for Eminem fans with Halsey in the headline, if you missed my video on Eminem achieving the chart double in the United Kingdom, #1 single and #1 album on the opening week, check that video out now at the link that pops up, and that one also includes a couple of records that Eminem has been able to extend in the country thanks to Music to be Murdered By, so check it out if you missed it. So Eminem dropped his album with no promo, no physical copies available, and certainly no interviews or any signs of promotion so far, and Music to be Murdered By opened with sales of 279,000 equivalent sales in the US, and I don't expect that physical copies counted to this since most outlets only had the album for pre-order, like in the UK for instance, but Eminem still managed to pull in 117,000 copies in pure digital sales, an equivalent of 154,000 from music streams, and track equivalent sales came in at 8,000, which all add up to the total of 279,000 equivalent units. By Eminem standards, this is lower than what Kamikaze managed to sell first week in the US, but given the circumstances surrounding the album release this time around, that's respectable, since streams pretty much matched that of Kamikaze. The album also outperformed Eminem's 2017 Revival that opened with sales of 267,000, but we'll have to wait to the end of this month to see the complete picture of how this stacks up to Kamikaze and Revival when I reveal global first week sales of the album before the weekend. So if this is your first time here and you'd love to know how the album compares on a global scale in a few days, remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. If you're enjoying this so far, also hit the like button to support the channel. So it's time for the main event that relates to Halsey, and a while ago I did this video which performed quite well, as many Eminem fans were just finding out what Halsey said about Eminem on Twitter in that video. I'll drop a quick summary of what happened, and if you want to find out the full story, check that video out now at the link that pops up to get the full picture. But this is what happened in a nutshell. Halsey was mad that Eminem stated that MGK is salty because of G-Eazy's connection with her, and at that time Halsey was here and there with the two rappers, if you know what I mean. So Halsey for some reason was mad that Eminem mentioned this fact on Killshot, but that was the truth. Eminem wasn't lying, but she didn't think it through and decided to talk about Eminem in a series of tweets in which she tried to compare her relatively short run of success with that of Eminem. She even added that Eminem's last album is not yet certified platinum and hers is certified platinum, and everyone who is aware of the facts at this point know that in the 21st century, the last person you want to compete with commercially is Eminem. Eminem's last album at that time was Kamikaze, and shortly after this went down, it was certified platinum. And after Halsey tweeted, she deleted the tweet shortly after when she realized that was the wrong move. Now I'm not trying to say Eminem watched my video or that those tweets got to Eminem, but it's quite ironic that on the week in which Halsey should have had a #1 album, Eminem decides to drop his album with no promo, and despite massive bundles from Halsey, Eminem still tops the chart with relatively no effort whatsoever. So it turns out that Halsey, who tried to compare herself with Eminem commercially, got knocked off the chart on a week where her album would have topped Mac Miller's album thanks to massive bundles, and if not for those, Mac Miller would have likely debuted at #2 behind Eminem. And from my perspective, Eminem saved the day for Mac because he passed away and is unable to inflate his album sales using tour bundles and merchandise compared to an artist who is alive. But this is my view on it. What do you guys think? So soon we'll get a full picture of how Eminem's latest album performed globally, and be sure to subscribe to find out more on that in a few days. As always, leave your thoughts below on this whole thing on Halsey and Eminem, and regardless if it was intentional or not, Eminem has humbled the rising star who slipped up on Twitter. See you on the next one.